I want to have Brother Tim just share a brief testimony about this week. About a little over a month ago, Brother Tim came on staff here at the church, and he's been nothing but a blessing since he's been here. He and Miss Linda have been nothing but a blessing, and been so helpful, encouraging, right at it all the time. And I just appreciate his spirit, his love for the Lord. He's not a novice. He actually trained for the ministry, and has been a blessing and help to me. And I want you to pray the Lord will keep him and Miss Linda encouraged. The Lord will help us be an encouragement to him. But I wanted him to just share a brief testimony with you. And I'm going to come back and have you pray with us, all right?
Well, I'll see if I can get through this tonight. I feel like a proud papa. Amen. All these kids are a blessing, every one of them. And I can tell the way I feel now, I won't get through it. What this week did for me, you pray and you pray and you preach and you pray and you preach, and you have days of frustration and days where you say, is there any hope for America? Are the kids even listening? Do they want God? Do they want to read their Bible? Do they want to pray? Do they want to grow? Do they want to have a testimony? And then this week I watched it, and as Riley mentioned about herself, I watched the kids soften. I watched them soften. And when Brother Sexton got up the first night and he talked about those lepers that came and they said, why sit we here till we die? And Pastor Sexton said, as pastor often does, that anybody can point out a problem and we see all the problems, but what are we going to do about it? Somebody needs to do something. Then the next morning, Brother Plowman got up and preached about the it in your life. And what are you going to do about it? And then Brother Baldwin preached about the issues. What are you going to do about it? Then Brother Baldwin preached again on Friday morning about the prayer of Jabez. Lars Arcos, and then Friday night about Keela, and all the messages just tied together. And I watched the young people. I watched like a switch was turned, and I watched them soften, and I watched them change. It takes a lot of courage for a young person to be in an auditorium. I don't know how much that auditorium seats, but about 3,000 people there, for them to get out of their seat and go forward in front of all those people, and to watch them start crying, and to share with each other as they did as a group. The band of brothers, band of sisters. I'm proud of every one of you. Every one of you mean the world to us. Every one of you does. Don't let the devil ever tell you you're not special or you're not loved. I'm glad we have a pastor that sees the importance of youth camp. The devil fought. Amen. He fought. We didn't know what was going on. The buzzer starts going off on the bus, and when the car looks at me and says, what's that? I looked at him, I said, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I even called Craig Daddy. He said, Craig Daddy, we got a buzzer. Put the phone down. What is that? He said, I don't know what that is. I said, all right, well, something's going on. And I thank God for Google, amen. And we found out that we're leaking brake fluid on the mountains. And we watched the devil. I could tell you stories how the devil tried to stop and tried to fight. And the young people fought through it. And they were faithful. And I appreciate it. I appreciate your courage. I do. My heart's just full, Pastor, I promise you. I just appreciate it. I feel like I got the blessing this week. Somebody said, you ready to do that again? I said, I am, just not tomorrow. Amen. Just not tomorrow. But I'll gladly do it again. I thank you all so much, all the counselors. Everybody had a great spirit, had a great time. But I'm very thankful. I'm thankful for Brother Sexton having the burden for young people and the church putting everything on. And I'm encouraged. I mean, part of me wants to preach, part of me wants to pray, and part of me wants to just sit here and weep. My heart's just that full. And so I thank y'all. I appreciate you. And God did a work in my heart personally, but also for these young people. I tell you what, you parents have something to be proud of. Fan that fire at home. Fan that fire at home. Amen. These kids are fired up. Fan that fire. There's missionaries in this group. There's preachers in this group. And people always talk about how many churches close every year. You know why they close? It's not because of a lack of pastors. It's because of a lack of people. You don't realize the importance of just being a sheep. Just learn to be faithful to church. Just be there. A pastor can't preach if there's no people. You don't have to be the pastor. Just be a person that learns to be faithful and live for God. And so I'm encouraged tonight. I thank God for all that he did for me. I'm looking forward to what God does next.